Okay, how's it going, everybody? I'm using this as a background. This has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about until maybe the end, but this is not linked to what we're talking about or to the person we're talking about. This is separate, but it's going to basically it makes a point, and it'll do so in the end. So I'm going to start off with a good friend of mine who's going to basically say what happened in his case for traffic. Traffic, what city was it? You can use any city you want.
Oh, you asked me what city it was?
Yeah, you can say any city. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's fine.
Let's say it's San Bernardino.
Okay. And how did it first start with
Well, this case was actually the case for my mom, and she's 77 years old. And so she was pulled over by a police officer sitting at the side of the road and was cited for speeding, unsafe speed. And so she decided she wanted to fight this ticket, so we went ahead and started putting the paperwork together. And from the very beginning, of course, we started to train her in, on the issues and the arguments, as well as how to handle herself in court, because obviously at some point she's going to end up in court, trying to deal with a judge on in this case. So that's how we started it off. What we did is originally we filed about 4 motions in there, and one was presented actually at the hearing, but the 4 motions that were filed in the beginning were an Armstrong motion. I think, in California, I don't know if it's what they call it in another state, but Armstrong motion is the demand for the services of a stenographic reporter. So we wanted a verbatim written transcript of everything that happened, everything that goes down at every proceeding. So that was the first motion. And the reason I did that is, of course, a good friend of ours who's since passed away, a mentor of yours and mine. I remember an appeal that he did in a case was one simply on the fact that they refused or failed to provide that stenographic reporter after the request was made. So put that one in. There's the motion for the stenographic reporter, which is a court reporter. That's an Armstrong motion. Then we put in a motion for the clarification of facts. We wanted to know who are the parties, what are the facts around this. We want to know who is, we got the ticket, and of course it says San Bernardino Police Department. But we want to know if San Bernardino Police Department, if that's the party, because nobody else has ever mentioned. We want to know, is it the police officer that is party to the case? What are the parties here? We didn't know, so we wanted to find that out. Also the facts, like was there an injured party? Was there an accident involved? All kinds of things like that. And then we did we did the Armstrong motion, the clarification of facts. We also did the demand for the complaint. We did a motion that requested the production of a verified complaint. So after that was 3, and then the 4th one was a motion to dismiss, or we called it a motion to quash / dismiss. And we put those in there. When she went in for her arraignment hearing, they had a commissioner. The commissioner, of course, in front of a whole, peanut gallery full of people, he brought up the motions where she brought it up, and he says, well, what do you want? She says, well, have you read my paperwork? He says, well, tell me what you want. She says, well, I want my motions addressed. He says, well, tell me what you want. And he just kept, badgering her like that. He says, tell me in just a simple sentence what it is you want. He was like, he kind of had the attitude or trying to make people think that he was on her side, like, help me help you, type of thing.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
And she says, well, I want a stenographic reporter. She says, my Armstrong motion says that I want a stenographic reporter. He goes, well, if you want a stenographic reporter, if you want a court reporter, you're not going to get one. We don't give stenographic reporters. If you want one, you have to pay for it. And that motion's denied. What else you want? She says, well, I want a complaint. Denied. What else you want? And he went down the list. Well, kind of what he did is he did that so that everybody in the in the audience would hear what was happening, and he was trying to make her look as foolish and stupid as possible. That's really the whole scam there. Right,
and yeah, that happens. Now, just so you know, we're already at 6 minutes. We have we have 3 minutes left because it's
okay.
It's like
anyway. So what happened was that he immediately sent her upstairs to a courtroom that didn't have anybody in there, just the judge, court reporter. Of course, there's nobody in there, and yes, they did have a court reporter there.
That happened. Yeah, that happened to me in LA, in LA County.
It's not what they say; it's what they do.
Yeah.
Anyway, so after that, I put in 4 more motions the day before they had a trial scheduled. Of course, they denied everything. When she went in for trial, the cop showed up. But what was really interesting is that the bailiff told the cop something. The cop walks out of the courtroom. Actually, he had to leave the building. They called the case. Cop's not there. Case dismissed. When we walked out, the cop is sitting right there outside the door of the courthouse, sitting on his motorcycle, smiling and talking to other cops and stuff. And I wish I'd had a camera, because that would have been a great picture for my mom. She would have walked up to him and says, hey, can I take a picture of you and your motorcycle? And that would have been great. But anyway,
yeah, because that would have proved that he was there.
Was dismissed, but
yeah.
I really believe that they didn't want to deal with a lot of these issues because they were sitting on a landmine here.
Now, real quick, I have this thing in the background. It's about something in, I think it's Orange County or Anaheim, talking about how infractions in California are civil. And I believe they're civil in every state, but that's just my opinion, of course. So, why do you think they call it criminal?
Well, they're not criminal. They're actually civil with criminal penalties. But it is civil. And those criminal penalties are usually voluntary. Even the misdemeanors in the vehicle code, there is a provision for them to be treated as infractions, which they are. Yeah, that's civil. There's several reasons why I think they're civil. One is because the whole driving issue is a taxation on a use. Tax issues are civil. Also, unless the people of the state of California or the people of the state of whatever state is involved, it's civil. But yet, when the citation was issued, it was issued, say, San Bernardino Police Department. That was whose name appeared on line 1 of the citation. That's the party.
Yep.
How did it ever get from San Bernardino to the people of the state of California without the involvement of a prosecutor, either the attorney general, the district attorney, or the city attorney? Can't happen.
Right, and that's what my other mentor, the one in knows federal law, we're digging into this because we're trying to see who is the one that's changing it. Like you actually brought that up and brought that to my attention and asked, well, who's changing it from the blank city police department to the people of the state of California? And we're thinking that it might be either a court clerk, like you said, or even maybe the judge's clerk. But if somebody's changing it, and it's not the city attorney or district attorney, because there is none.
Yeah. Well, I don't know who generates the paperwork in the name of the people of the state of California when they aren't represented.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, we're going to find out.
You went into court and somebody shows up in your name saying, hey, I'm here for this person and I'm filing the lawsuit. Well, it can't be done unless they are you. Or
they're representing you, which a cop is not an attorney.
Right, he can't be an attorney, but he also cannot initiate an action in the name of the people of the state of California.
That's right, but real quickly, I just want to say I want to thank you very much, because it's already 9 minutes and 40-something seconds. But I want to thank you for your time, and I really appreciate you doing this video with me. And congratulations on that win.
All right, man.
And so I'm going to stop recording now, and that'll be it. Okay.